Hello, and welcome to the We Talk Health podcast, the official podcast of West Tennessee Healthcare. I'm your host, Kara Mobley, and this episode is part 3 of our 3-part series with our HMR program manager and health coach, Natalie Idzik. She works with us through the Lift Wellness Center. Welcome back to the show, Natalie.
Hello, nice to be here.
Great, yes. So we've talked to you in the previous 2 episodes for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and now we've got our final kind of big holiday of this time of year, which is New Year's. That's a big thing for people wanting to do New Year's resolutions, wanting to make some changes in their lives. And so I wanted to have you on to kind of talk about how, our Lift Weight Management Program, HMR, can help people actually make and keep those New Year's resolutions.
I understand totally that this is an important time of year. And I think if you were to do a survey, 9 times out of 10, people's top 1 or 2 resolution is to lose weight.
Right.
So I think this is a very timely episode.
Yes. And so now that we've made it through kind of the 2 big eating holidays, New Year's, people like to party, people like to celebrate. What are some things that you notice, I guess, as a health coach with people struggling with this particular time of year? I guess with being invited to parties and then also wanting to make those goals.
So as we get into the new year, there's 2 parts to this. The first is, well, I have gotten to this point, Thanksgiving, struggled, probably
Right.
gained a little bit of weight. For most people, Christmas is a really busy time of year.
Busy, yes.
And probably gained a little bit of weight. And then before the new year rolls around, like, well, it's too late, too little too late. I'll just, do what I'm going to do. And then come January 1st, January 2nd, I'll go all in and make a New Year's resolution to lose weight. And so part of what I have seen with people through this journey is when it comes around to New Year's, people have a lot of resolve and they're dedicated, they're committed, they're ready to make a change, but they don't really have a plan. What they have is a promise. And a promise would be, I'm going to be different this year. I'm going to try harder. I'm going to try and get to the gym more frequently. I'm going to just eat better. And while those are really good intentions, it doesn't translate into a specific, measurable, doable plan. And so one of the reasons why the HMR program and our clients do so well is the guesswork is taken out of what people need to do to be successful. We have the plan, and if they follow the plan, they have success. And so there's 2 parts to this. The first is surviving New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and then having a specific measurable plan with some ways to build the skills to manage your weight and health so that the new year doesn't become more of the same where you slip into your old routines and habits.
Right. And I know that motivation is a big factor. People are very motivated at the beginning, but with anything, motivation isn't constant. You're going to have, the highs and the lows. So I'm understanding that this way to do it with a plan helps people get through the lows, to keep making positive progress.
So true. Yes, absolutely. And it's normal to have highs and lows and have times when you're doing really, really well. And then, as I like to say, life happens and you get sick. Your kids are home from school. If you live where I live, there's a blizzard.
Oh, wow.
And life happens. And so it's normal to have those lows too. And what can happen is when people experience the lows and they don't understand that this is part of the journey, they can become frustrated, discouraged, feel like a failure, and fall back into the old routines. And so that's part of what's really important is to, as you said, sort of be able to maintain your perspective through all that, maintain your resolution, and know that this is part of the journey.
Right. And don't just give up and throw in the towel. Like,
exactly.
Just because you make one mistake, if anything happens, this isn't the end. You can keep moving forward.
Right, exactly. So part of New Year's, we all make resolutions, and there are some tried and true strategies for keeping New Year's resolutions that I thought would be helpful to share today. And then we can talk about how to start your new year with a new you so that you can transform your 2025 into the best version of yourself through all of the services we offer at the Lift and specifically the HMR program.
Great, yes.
So the first strategy is when it comes to New Year's resolutions, you want to start small. If you set a goal that's too big, it can be very overwhelming. So you want to think of something small that you can commit to every day. So you might be thinking, wow, I want to work out an hour every single day this week. And when you get busy and you get behind and you're stuck at work or whatever the case may be, and you didn't have that hour, If that's your goal and you didn't do it, then, well, I failed my goal. I didn't do
Right,
it.
right.
But if you can start with a small goal, like I'm going to walk 10 minutes every day, and you get that consistently, that success can be built on. You go from 10 minutes to 12 minutes to 15 minutes. Do two 15-minute walks. Now you're at 30. And starting small makes your goals much more manageable and much more likely to be successful with those.
Right, yeah, and starting realistic. And I mean, what I have to do to start a habit is make a reminder on my phone, because otherwise I will forget to do it. So just having like a constant everyday reminder will help start
That's
you up, I
so
guess.
great. And I love that, putting it on your phone. And that brings me to the second tip, which you just really summed up quite well, which is having accountability. So being accountable to yourself by writing down your goal, making it visible, whether that's on your refrigerator, on your computer, on your phone, setting reminders on your phone, get up and walk, have another fruit or vegetable. That really allows you to have it in front of you and helps with the accountability. So I think that's a great strategy. Also, letting your friends and family know about your goals so that they can support you. And then having a buddy who has a similar goal can really have somebody that supports you through the process. And accountability is probably, if we were to ask the members of our program, the number one reason they consider themselves more successful with the program and coaching than without. Because when we're
Right,
accountable to ourselves, it's easy to let yourself off the hook and
right.
talk yourself into, well, it won't hurt this time. But if you know you're going to be accountable to a coach, a team, you have to report your weight, whatever the case may be, whatever you decide upon, that accountability makes a big difference.
Right. That's a big thing for me because internally I have very little motivation and I will let myself off the hook of everything. So telling
Mhm.
someone else outside of yourself can help some of those people. And I mean the lift, go with a buddy. And I mean I know if they sign up for HMR with you, you're their health coach. You're also an external source kind of pushing them along.
I have a client who calls me his Jiminy Cricket. He says I'm his compass.
Oh yes, yes, I love that.
Yeah. So you're not alone in that letting yourself off the hook. It's
Mhm.
absolutely a very normal experience. Another strategy that can be really helpful when you're making new resolutions around a healthier lifestyle is what I like to call habit stacking. So if you're trying to build a new routine, add it to something that you already do. So make it a rule, for example, that you only watch your favorite show while you're on the treadmill. So
Right.
you're linking your activity to the show, and you're going to watch the show anyway. You might as well burn calories and build that skill of,
Exactly.
yeah. And then one of my favorites is, of course, I'm going to have coffee every morning. So while brewing my coffee, I blend up a shake with fruit, and I get either a fruit and or a vegetable in the shake and a guaranteed low calorie meal for my breakfast. So I'm starting the day strong, and that's a two for one, kill two birds with one stone kind of situation where that becomes another habit. That's just part of your routine.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I know waiting for coffee to brew is a big thing for a lot of people. And this slide I didn't mention off the top, but we have a YouTube channel. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see the slides. And if not, you can see them in our show notes. But this slide has a blender with spinach on top. Spinach is one of my favorite things. You can add it to anything. Like if you blend it up and you can barely taste it and you're just getting all those nutrients.
Yeah. People don't really quite know that the greens that you get, the leafy greens, spinach, kale, things like that, are so nutrient dense and
Hmm.
so good for your bone health. And as you said, you throw it in with a shake, little strawberries, you don't even taste it, and it's so
Right,
good for you.
right. Yeah, and a bag of spinach is so inexpensive too. So
I love that tip. That's
right.
great.
Yeah, it's like you're not even having to spend that much money on it. No splurging for spinach.
Right. And then the other piece to building new or staying, maintaining New Year's resolutions and building a habit or a new routine is being consistent. And I mentioned that people have good intentions and sort of sometimes hope for the best. But we know that good intentions often lead to not having success with goals. So rather than crossing your fingers and hoping for the best, you want to look at these routines, these skills, and look at the week and schedule them in. And if you can ideally schedule them at the same time every day, your brain doesn't have to think about it,
Hmm.
and it's much more automatic and will become part of your routines.
Right.
So schedule in your calendar as an appointment, a 15-minute walk during the day, 15 minutes before you go home, and scheduling in a walk could be helpful. Planning in a 10-minute time to go make a shake. Again, having these skills and these resolutions planned in, like any other appointment or anything else that's important, can really help these become more automatic.
Right. Right. These are great. So thank you so much for sharing all of this. I know this is a great thing that we have here in West Tennessee, to have the HMR weight management program through our Lift Center for this community, this area of people. Do you know about how long people stay on it? Like, do they get to a certain point and then say, okay, I think I'm good, I'm going to fly on my own now?
A great question. And with the program, we have two different phases. The first phase of the program is designed to help people take a break from their current routines and habits so that they can start developing the new, healthier routines.
Right.
And this is what we call the phase 1 or weight loss phase of the program. And when people start that, we start them on the decision-free, very structured plan where they don't have to think about what to eat, so that they basically have no decisions to make. It's super easy to follow, and they lose a lot of weight and lose it very quickly.
Right.
That people don't have to be on the diet that long typically to reach their goals.
Mm-hmm.
And so in terms of timing, it depends on how much weight people want to lose. We've helped people lose 10 pounds. We've helped people lose 300 pounds. So the length of time on the diet depends on how much weight people are wanting to lose. But then we move people into the most important phase of the program, which is our healthy lifestyle phase, phase 2. And this is where the rubber hits the road, and we work with people to help them incorporate other healthy foods as part of their diet and have the support, the accountability to keep off the weight that they've lost in the program. And so in general, people, I would say, are in our program for a minimum of 1 year to get the skills and experience they need to manage their weight through the holidays, through summer, through special events, travel, parties, all the things we know that can really throw a ring into people working on developing these healthy lifestyle skills. So it is individualized and customized based on each individual client and their needs. But again, one of the reasons why our program works so well is the weight loss the weight comes off very quickly. It's very reinforcing. It's very motivating, and people don't need to be on the diet as long as they may think to lose the weight that they want to lose.
Yeah, because I just had wondered about that, like what the length of time is. And especially if you're just a regular person working a 9-to-5 job, you're busy, this is a very helpful to not have, like you said, take the decisions out of it. It's so hard to just, you're like, okay, now I got to start planning my meals and all of these things. So this is such a great tool and program to have available to people.
I appreciate you saying that. And it's just wonderful seeing the success that people have in the program, and how they're just feeling healthier, more vital, spending time with their grandkids that they might not otherwise, getting off medications. It's really transformative. The other thing I would say is, with all of us being so busy, even if you aren't actively participating in the program, we still can, through the Lift, have people have access to our online store where they can use and have access to the HMR foods.
Okay,
and
great, yes.
Strategically using a HMR shake for breakfast, as we mentioned with our strawberry spinach example, saves a lot of calories, quick, easy, convenient, tastes delicious. So that's a really good weight management tool to help you cut calories, eliminate decisions. So if people were interested in looking for using the HMR foods as a tool for weight loss and weight maintenance, that's certainly something that people can do as well if you're feeling like you don't need the structure and accountability of the entire diet plan per se. But again, if you're really at this time of year wanting to find, I like to say, new year, new you, and want to make this the time where you do lose the weight, doing the plan and getting in the program really will support you losing weight much more quickly than trying to do it on your own.
Great, yes. And so what is that phone number if people want to give you a call and learn more about it and possibly get set up?
So if anybody has any questions about doing the program, any of the information that we talked about today, or how to continue to just even use the products, they can call 731-425-6820. And I'm happy to help anybody anytime. Really appreciate the opportunity to support people in their weight and health journey.
Excellent. So, and I'll also be sharing that in the show notes, and it'll be posted online for people to have at the ready. And yeah, this was a great topic. I'm excited that we got to talk about it, with having, a new year, new you, 2025, and all the things that we're able to help with here at the Lift and with the weight management program.
Thank you. I really appreciate you having me. It was a pleasure. I look forward to more opportunities to support our community with their weight and health.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to We Talk Health. This podcast is not intended to replace any medical advice. Nothing said in this podcast is intended to supersede or supplement the direction of your medical caretakers. If you have any questions or would like to request a topic, you can reach out to us at wetalkhealthpodcast@gmail.com.